Welcome to Unit 7, Example 5. In this particular exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to write a program that can be used to calculate the federal tax. The tax is calculated as follows. For single people, the standard exemption is $4,000. For married people, the standard exemption is $7,000. A person can put up to 6% of his or her gross income in a pension plan. The tax rates are as follows. If the taxable income is between 0 and $15,000, the tax rate is 15%. If it's between $15,001 and $40,000, the tax is $2,250 plus 25% of the taxable income over $15,000. If it's over $40,000, the tax is $8,460 plus 35% of the taxable income over $40,000. So we're going to prompt the user to enter the following. Marital status. If the status is married, ask for the number of children under the age of 14. The gross salary. If the marital status is married and both spouses have an income, enter the combined salary. Percentage of gross income contributed to a pension fund. The program must consist of at least the following functions. You're going to have a function get data. This function asks the user to enter the relevant data. So you're going to want the marital status, number of children, the salary, and the contributions toward the pension. And then your tax amount is going to have a calculation with all these variables as well. This function computes and returns the tax owed. To calculate the standard income, subtract the sum of the standard exemption, the amount contributed to a pension plan, and the personal exemption, which is $1,500 per person. Notice that if a married couple has 2 children under the age of 14, then the personal exemption is $1,500 times 4. That's for the couple and for the 2 children. So that together is $6,000. Okay, so let's get started. I want 3 variables: the married deduction, the single deduction, and the personal deduction. So these are not going to change, so I'm going to make them constants. Remember, it doesn't hurt to declare a constant variable as a global variable, because you can't change it anyway. So let's put our 2 methods here, our get data method and our tax amount method. Now, our get data method, they're all going to be reference variables. So we want to get the marriage status, the number of children, the salary, and the contribution toward the pension. Okay, the other function I'm going to get is the tax amount. So it's going to use the same variables, only they're not going to be reference variables. See those ampersands? That tells you you're dealing with reference variables. Okay, so let's look at our main function. So we've declared a marital status, number of children, gross salary, and percent contributed to pension. So now we have our fixed show point and set precision to 2 decimal places. You know, dollars and cents. For cents, you only have 2 places. Let's declare our variables and our what we need to get for the get data function. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to output the tax amount using the tax amount. So I'm going to put a blank space in here. Now I can tell the user your tax for the year is. Okay, so now I'm going to return 0. So now I'm going to write my get data function. So first I'm going to get the marital status from the user. Now whatever they give me, I'm going to put into marital status. Now I'm going to get me another line here. So now I'm going to write my function. Are they married? First I determine that. So I start a opening curly brace here. So I want the user to tell me how many children they have under 14. And whatever number they tell me, I'm going to put into n of children. Now I'm going to give myself another line here. So now that we've determined how many children, we're going to determine the gross salary for the year. Whatever number they're going to give me, I'm going to input into salary. I give myself another line. So now I want the user to tell me what percentage he or she put into the pension fund. So whatever amount they give me, I'm going to put into the P contrib pension. Now I give myself an ending line. So now down here I need to write my tax amount function. So I declare my tax amount variable. I declare my standard deduction variable. And I declare my tax variable. Now I need to know how many children under 14 the family has. So now I'm going to determine if the taxpayer is married. I'm going to have the number of deductions is equal to 2 plus the number of children. And the standard deduction is going to be equal to the married deduction. If this is true, then the number of deductions is equal to 2, the husband and wife, plus the number of children. And the standard deduction is the married deduction. Okay, otherwise they're a single person. And the standard deduction is a single deduction. Now we'll do our formula. So we'll have the taxable amount equal to salary minus deduction, minus personal exemption times the number of deductions, minus the salary multiplied by the percentage of contribution, pension contribution, and then divide by 100. So there's your taxable amount is equal to salary minus standard deduction minus the personal exemption times the number of exempt deductibles. Subtract that from the salary times the contribution to the pension plan and divide it by 100 for the percentage. So what if the taxable amount is less than 0? Our taxable amount is going to be equal to 0. So now let's figure out what category they're in. First, we're going to check to see if the taxable amount is less than or equal to 0, and if the taxable amount is less than or equal to 15,000. If this is true, the taxable amount is 15%. So we're going to have taxable amount times 0.15. So now the next category is between 15,001 and 40,000. So it's else if that tax is 2,250 plus the taxable amount minus 15,000 times 25%. So now the last situation is that it's greater than 4,000, right? So it's going to be an else statement here. Tax is equal to 8,460 plus the taxable amount minus 4,000 times 35%, 0.35. There you go. Hopefully you can see all that. So now all you have to do is we have to return the tax. Okay, let's run that code. Okay, so let's just double check our code, make sure everything's okay. All right, we did a lot of coding in here. Double check to make sure you've got semicolons at the end of all your lines. Okay, sometimes when you write these, they're not going to fit all in one line. That's okay. Just make sure that they're all declared here. Like for example, this can all be on one line, but it's the way that it was copied and pasted that gave us this break in here. Okay, if you're getting an error code on this, you can try and cinch it all up in one line if you can. Both these contrib pensions here. But I had saw this code what was hidden, so I hope you can see everything here. Like on this one, it should be all in one line, but just so you can see everything, I kind of scrunch it all together. So if your code isn't working, You might try and put it all in one line if you can. Okay, I hope that's okay. So I'm going to we've run our code. So I'm going to put in our code here. I'm going to say S for single. Gross salary for year. Well, I don't know. We'll put in 45,000. Percentage of salary contributed to pension. I'll put in 5%. Tax for the year is $7,812.50. Okay, let's try it again. Click Run Code again. So we'll put married this time. Number of children under the age of 14, we'll put 2. Gross salary for the year, we'll put in here 15,000. Percentage of salary contributed to pension, we'll put in 0. Your tax for this year is $300. See how that works? Okay, if you have any issues with this, just let me know, and I'll help you. Have a good day.